Welcome to week 3 of our road trip around Australia. Don't forget to spot the animal. If you see the animal, comment below. This week we have a breakdown, we see a stuck truck, and we head for the gorgeous white sands of Esperance. We left Quoin and headed to Hopetoun. We passed the rabbit-proof fence, which was a fence created in the 1800s to stop rabbits entering the wheat belt. We passed Yali Chicken Farm and a chicken cemetery, and then we came across one of the most bizarre things we've seen yet, a stuck truck. We couldn't find the story behind this, but it probably got stuck out here one day and was too hard to recover. On our trip we had to stop at the local Ravensthorpe hospital because there was something wrong with this kid's eye, but it turned out to be all good. Then we had a shower time for the van, which was very much needed. As we were leaving here, the car did not want to go any further. Please note we are in the middle of nowhere and it is a few days before Christmas. But we were in luck. Just around the corner was a battery guy on his way out for Christmas holidays. Car was fixed and off we go again. We arrived in beautiful Hopetoun. I fell in love with this little seaside town and wouldn't mind moving here. Everything is in just walking or riding distance. The boys could get on their bike, ride out of the caravan park and head straight into town. It is such a magical place. I felt so relaxed and at home here. You can walk to the beach and to the local pub, and there was a jumping pillow and a playground in town. We absolutely loved it. The weather was a little interesting, but that didn't stop the boys from having fun. It was such a quaint little classic Australian fishing town. The town may be small, but surprisingly it had a local library, which we utilised for schoolwork, and the boys got in some much needed research time and reading books and just having time in the library. We also found a local bakery for some yummy donuts. Hopetoun is located right near the Fitzgerald River National Park, a place that we would fall in love with. Fitzgerald River National Park is one of the world's most diverse natural landscapes in all of Australia. It is located in Western Australia on the south coast. It's home to an incredible range of plant species, many of which you won't find anywhere else on Earth. In spring, the park comes alive with wildflowers covering the landscape. But it's not just about what's on the land. The rugged coastline, cliffs and beaches make this place just as spectacular by the ocean. It is remote, raw and largely untouched, which is exactly what makes it so special. Places like this remind us of how unique and fragile Australia's natural environment really is. We took a look at Mount Barron and went for a beautiful bushwalk and were greeted with this little character. The bush tracks here also have a dieback protection system for your shoes. We have mentioned dieback previously in our other videos and how protecting natural wildlife and wildflowers and the natural bush of this area from dieback. Another interesting about this national park is that there were lots of geocaches to be had. So we spent a good time exploring and doing geocaching. Geocaching is a real-world treasure hunt using your phone's GPS. People hide small containers called caches and they share their location online, and others try to find them, sign the logbook and return them for the next person. Sometimes there's a little treasure in the container that you can take with you and you can leave a treasure behind. We headed back to the caravan park. It is 3 days until Christmas and we had to give the boys their main Christmas presents early so that we could participate in some cool fun activities for the rest of the week. We took the boys' Christmas presents to East Miley's Beach, just outside Hopetoun. It is a quiet stretch of coastline that feels completely untouched. The water here is crystal clear and the beach seems to go on forever. But just behind the shoreline, the landscape changes. These are the Hamersley sand dunes. They are shaped by strong coastal winds and constantly shifting over time. It is a striking contrast, Soft white sand rising up from the deep blue ocean. Out here there's no crowds, no noise, just raw nature and wide open space. It's the kind of place that makes you feel that you found something truly hidden and magical. We did pack snow sleds for this very reason. Look how magical and white that sand is. The boys had so much fun going down these sand dunes. These sand dunes were really high up. It is very hard to photo or capture the height of these sand dunes, but the boys had no problems running up there and going over the edge. The height of the sand dunes aren't officially measured, but some are 5 to 15 metres high. Some larger sections can reach up to 20 metres. They are considered low coastal dunes. We've always dreamed of a white Christmas. I think this is the closest we're going to get to a white Christmas in Australia. The sand out here is truly amazing. Check out these amazing scenery. After all that heavy work sand duning down the dunes, the boys tried out their new Christmas presents and went waterboarding on the water and looked through their little portholes to see the fishes. It sure looks like they are having the best time. The day was topped off by a surprise visit from my brother on his road trip from Queensland back to Perth in time for Christmas. It was great to catch up with my brother. The boys really loved having their picnic lunch car park style. After a quick picnic lunch in the car park, it was back to hit the waves. Hopetoun is surely a magical place to be. What a way to top off the day, but with fish and chips at the local pub and to watch the sunset. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Hopetoun is truly a magical seaside town. You really must stop here on your road travels. I highly recommend coming out and having a look. If you thought the beach was magical, check out this sunset. Absolutely stunning. How beautiful is that? WA sure is a beautiful place to be. We started the next day with a stock up of supplies from some local businesses, and then we headed off to do some history lessons. My brother and I, we love trains, so this is a perfect opportunity to have a history lesson with the boys right here in Hopetoun. This is Hopetoun's old railway station and yard. It's a reminder of when rail was the lifeline of towns like this. Back in the days, trains carried grain supplies and people across the wheat belt and down to the coast. The yard would have been busy with wagons loading and unloading, connecting this small town to the rest of Western Australia. After the rail yards, it was time for some beach four-wheel driving. We headed to the Quoin beach track. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's just east of Hopetoun. The waves here are powerful, rolling in from the Southern Ocean and crashing against the shore. It's not the kind of beach for a casual swim, but that's what makes it so impressive. Cliffs, rocks and open ocean stretch as far as you can see. There's a raw energy about this place, shaped by the wind, water and time. Out here, you really feel how untamed this coastline is. We found a little bay where the water seemed much calmer. We put on the boys' life jackets and let them loose in the ocean. They had the best time. How much fun does this look? I should have got in and had a go, but I'm not as brave as these two. How spectacular is this beach? Look at this beautiful rock formations in amongst the cliff edge. Absolutely stunning. Back in the car, it was time for a quick power nap before we headed to the next beach. We took the Hamersley Dunes drive. Of course, we were not going to drive into the sand dunes, but we did a little bit of sand duning drive on the flatter areas. Then we headed to Hamersley Inlet for a swim. The boys also did some more sand duning at the Hamersley Dunes. The boys did want to drive through the sand dunes, but it's not safe and we didn't really want to call a rescue team if we got bogged. Hamersley Inlet is another beautiful, stunning four-wheel drive access beach. It truly is another magical spot out here. Hamersley Inlet is tucked away along the coast near Hopetoun. It's where the river meets the ocean, creating a calm, sheltered stretch of water surrounded by a rugged landscape. Unlike the wild beaches nearby, the inlet feels peaceful and still. The water here is often smooth, making it a great spot for swimming. Beyond just the inlet is the Southern Ocean awaits, powerful and unpredictable. It's this contrast that makes the Hamersley Inlet so special. A quiet pocket of calm in an otherwise wild coastline. Next day, we said goodbye to my brother and we drove from Hopetoun to beautiful Esperance, where we would be rewarded with more magical beaches and white sand. Esperance is where we would be spending Christmas this year. We also would be meeting up with our little doggo, Taco. We cannot wait to catch up with our little doggo. Of course, being Christmas, we need a Christmas tree. So here we are out in the bush. Do you like our bush Christmas tree? So as you may know, our cat Miss Moo is staying with Nana back in Perth. But our dog Taco and his sister Bee are staying on a farm out at Lort River. Unfortunately, a few days into the road trip, B had a run-in with a snake and is no longer with us. Taco was overjoyed to see us. Man, we had so many cuddles. We had so much fun when Taco visited. We took him for a walk around the park, we played shake a paw, we just had the best time. Then it was time to check out all the Christmas decorations at the caravan park. This is a caravan park with mostly permanent residents. It was the only place we could get so close to Christmas. Before saying goodbye to Taco, we took him for a quick drive, and then it was goodbye time. We'll see you in a few days, mate, when we come to stay with you. Tanker Jetty in Esperance stretches nearly a kilometre out into the Southern Ocean. It was originally built in the 1930s. It was used to service ships carrying fuel and supplies to the town. For decades, the jetty played an important role in keeping Esperance connected to the outside world. The waterfront gardens on Esperance foreshore is a calm open space right along the waterfront with a playground. It has grassy areas, walking paths and views across the bay. The water here is incredibly clear, and on a calm day it almost feels like a mirror. The boys really enjoyed playing in the playground. Esperance on WA's south coast is a place known for some of the most stunning beaches in the world. The sand here is incredibly white, and the water is a deep, clear blue that almost doesn't look real. Just outside town, you'll find places like Lucky Bay, where kangaroos relax right on the beach. We will be visiting there in a few days. But Esperance isn't just about the coastline. It has national parks and wide open spaces of natural beauty. Esperance was named in 1792 after a French explorer who named it after his ship L'Espérance. By the 1800s, Esperance became an important port, supporting nearby goldfields and going through farming and trade. Today we enjoyed a miniature train ride, and it was such a fun experience for the whole family. The train may be small, but the adventure is big, taking us on a relaxing ride through beautiful surroundings. The kids loved every moment, waving and spotting things along the way. If you're visiting Esperance with kids, this is definitely a fun and easy activity to add to your list. It was then time to get lost in the big maze. We then explored the wooden maze. The kids loved trying to find their way through the twists and turns, racing each other and getting a little lost on the way. The next family activity was mini golf, and it was such a fun activity for the whole family. The course had plenty of tricky obstacles, and the kids loved trying to get a hole in one. There was lots of laughter and a bit of friendly competition, and plenty of fun along the way. There are so many fun activities to do with kids in Esperance.
Champion!
After mini golf, we decided to stop for the biggest ice creams that I've ever seen. It might be Christmas, but we decided to throw in a school history lesson and learned about the history of Esperance and its maritime history. We learned from early exploration to life in the past. The kids love exploring the exhibits and discovered something new around every corner. It was an interesting little time. They even had a train that the kids could hop on board. They even saw a fancy old washing machine. The boys didn't quite believe us when we said this was a mobile phone. The boys then spent a relaxing afternoon sliding off the water slide pontoon. They had lots of fun playing with all the other kids. Just a fun tip to note that in the back of the car we do have the boys' swimming gear and their life jackets at all times and a change of clothes. Our eldest spied that big kids were jumping off the jetty, and he really wanted to have a go. He got up there and had second thoughts. The big kids were trying to encourage him to jump, but he couldn't quite make the leap. They were great in helping him, but didn't quite have the confidence. And then Dad came to the rescue. Does he do the big jump or not? Stay tuned and have a watch. Well done. Please sit back and relax and enjoy our drone footage of Fitzgerald National Park. How stunning are those white beaches? Truly amazing. Absolutely glorious. While exploring these beautiful beaches and the Fitzgerald National Park, we often run into the locals on the road. They seem to know the road rules very well. But anyway, check out this amazing family on their own journey. I wonder where they're off to. Today we travelled 115 kilometres from Esperance to explore Cape Arid National Park. We didn't even scratch the surface. You could easily spend a few weeks here exploring. We took the four-wheel drive tracks to remote beaches and some old ruins. The sand was so incredibly soft, the water was so clear and blue, and at sometimes the boys even swam right near stingrays. There was no one else out here. We were that remote that if we came into trouble with the four-wheel drive or anything, it would be a real challenge to find someone to come and help us. Reason we travel with an EPIRB. Just look how soft and powdery this sand is. Truly amazing. Cape Arid National Park is a remote coastal park. It is about 120 kilometres east of Esperance. It is known for its white sandy beaches, clear blue water and rugged natural landscape. The park is much quieter than other nearby places. One of the most popular areas is Targon Bay, where you can swim, relax and just enjoy the beach. The water here is usually calm and clear. The park is home to kangaroos, birds and reptiles, and stingrays. You can only get here by 4-wheel drive. Thanks for joining us. I can't believe our first month on the road is over. Join us next week to see where we end up. Do we finally cross the border? Where are we seeing the new year in? And before you go, did you spot the animal? Comment below. And just to finish up, we do have a fun fact. Thank you again for all the support. Please remember to like our video and to subscribe to our channel. Can't even get the word subscribe out today. Thank you guys. See you next week.